Oh, Colby, did you know I met someone today?
Yeah?
You know what I said to her?
No, Barry.
Oh, dear Hermia, thou so incredibly hot and stuff. This movie was like a fever dream of this month's theme. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
If you guys haven't guessed it, we're at a new month.
We are in a new month.
And, we've kind of, I would say, have avoided this sort of genre of movies.
Right. So we're going to class it up a little.
And this month we're doing late 90s, early 2000 teen rom-coms inspired by Shakespeare.
Yep.
Which, for a while, I didn't know a good chunk of, teen rom-coms were actually just modern versions of Shakespeare plays.
This one makes it pretty obvious that it's Shakespeare inspired.
And if you guys don't know our first segment, it's a movie trailer time.
Oh, yeah.
How do you win back your high school sweetheart that's left you before senior year? Why, you joined the school play, of course. But can you really fight against Shane West with a terrible British accent? We're gonna find out in 2001's Get Over It. I don't know if Shane West was trying his hardest with this accent.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad that the movie even made fun of it.
Right. Yes.
At some point where our main character, which his name is Burke, I remember, is just like, oh, you're letting your accent slip.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. It was a little.
It was pretty over the top.
Yeah.
It was almost like an 80s version of a British or Australian accent.
Right. Oh, because this was a 2000 movie.
This is 2001.
I was like, because if this was 1990, then it'd be fine because you're allowed to make fun of people from their nationality back then.
Yeah, this was not. This is 2001. Oh man. So before we start off with talk about the movie, I know for me these were my teen rom-com movies.
Okay, right.
You know, this is what 98 to 2006 would be what this was to me. What was for you was Revenge of the Nerds, Porky's,
okay,
Animal House.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm not quite Animal House old.
Is it? I don't know when. Wait, when did Animal House come out?
That would have been 70s.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be late 70s or no.
Maybe late 70s, but then that would have been adolescent. So it would have been.
Your mom and dad you can't watch that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. So when I brought up this topic of watching these teen rom-coms, and most of the movies I have lined up for this month are around this years.
Okay.
So how did you feel about that? Because
no, I love rom-coms and I've watched a lot, and I've watched a lot in every era, but no, I was very unfamiliar with this. I had never heard of this, and then even the people in it I liked, but I just never even heard of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I think it got lost in the craze Drive Me Crazy with Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Right.
Yeah, obviously you have one of the most classic early 2000s rom-coms with 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yep.
So yeah, this definitely got lost in the mix. I've never seen anybody talk about this.
I even look, I said, I usually look at reviews and other people's ideas on movies, just kind of see if I miss something, if there's sometimes they throw in cool facts. Nothing.
This has been forgotten with time.
Yeah.
But we have Kirsten Dunst in here.
We have a plethora of famous people in this.
Martin Short.
Sisqo.
Sisqo.
Sisqo's movie debut.
Which, you know what? As like, when I first brought up this movie and I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I forgot Sisqo was in here. He must have been so bad for him not to be in other movies. But
he doesn't have a great acting chops. But
you could, but like I was like, he's good enough to always be like a supporting role,
right,
type of guy. You know? He could be like a jock, you know.
Mila
Kunis, Zoe Saldana,
right? And I didn't even recognize her until I was like looking at the cast, and I was like, I know that name. What is the Gamora? What?
Yeah, so I don't know. I really don't understand why this isn't as talked about as like other things like Clueless and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, for nothing else but people being like, hey, remember when you used to be in that one movie? You know, like kind of flashback things.
Yeah.
Being that there's so many famous people, you know.
So if you guys don't know, this movie is very... So I read an article. I wanted to make sure I can kind of get the comparisons. But this is very loosely based on Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously the way that this ends is very much different than the play itself. Which I'll talk about the comparisons between this and the Midsummer's Night right after we do like a little movie catch up. So we start off with our main character Burke. He is going through his life with his childhood friend Allison.
Yes,
and I was really glad they did the song Allison later on to the movie, but he explains why him and Allison have been childhood friends, but she moved away. And one of the more rare things, especially back in the early 2000s, was because social media wasn't such a present thing in people's lives. She moves back into town and she automatically recognizes Burke, and they begin a high school relationship.
Right. Yeah, because when you come back to a new school and you don't know anybody except for one person, you know, you have an instant connection to them.
Yeah.
And if that person's always had a crush on you because you're a hottie, then, you know, it's easy to slip into that.
Yeah, and it seems like it seemed pretty reciprocal. Like, you know, you're working a lot on your previous relationship as childhood friends.
Right.
And so, you know, everyone was pretty envious of Burke because he was like with one of the hottest girls in school.
Yeah.
But very immediately, you know, a year and a half in or something like that.
Something like that.
Which, you know, a lot of high school relationships go through. She decides like, hey, you know, we've been together for a while now. And you know, I love you, but I think we should break up.
I love you, but I think I just love you as a friend.
Right? Like because he explains like, when I kiss you, there's nothing now. And
right.
I was like, I heard that line before, and I was like, be still my beating heart.
Yep.
And obviously he's super depressed, and as he walks home with his stuff that she's already gathered, we get Vitamin C singing dude, we'll all be together, right?
Yeah.
Of course I was like, man, is this guy having a schizophrenic episode? But no, it's just how the early 2000s were.
Right. Yep.
And then so what's called Burke is obviously going through his heartbreak. His friends Colin Hanks and Sisqo are trying to perk him up, so they take him out to this little high school shindig that's happening, and a lot of people are there. And then, oh no, Allison is also there after she had told Burke that she was going to go away for the weekend.
Yep.
Which I also understand, you know, like it's kind of awkward. You feel like you're you feel like the guy that you've just left doesn't really go to these type of functions, so you feel like it's safe to lie.
Right. Yep.
Oh no, but then all of a sudden we get introduced to Shane West of Walk to Remember fame. He really hasn't done much ever after that. Like, he's done a lot of like Lifetime-esque movies.
Right. And yeah, I looked that up too, because I was like, he looks like I should know him from other things, but he's kind of got like a little bit like, he looks a little like Doogie Howser. Like grown up. Patrick Harris.
MPH? Like MPH's like less successful cousin?
Yeah, like it's like, oh, your little brother got into acting too? Oh, okay.
Oh, like only it's very rare that like family actors are good as the other one.
Right.
Like I always think about this. It's like freaking terrible to think about this, right? River Phoenix was an amazing child actor.
Right.
But before he can come into fruition of becoming an adult actor, we also knew Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep.
And we already know what kind of colossus giant of an actor that guy is. So I always think, like, was Joaquin Phoenix as good as... could River Phoenix have been as good as Joaquin Phoenix?
Right.
I don't know. We'll never know.
Right.
But no, so Shane West is apparently, he used to be the leader of the Lad Town Boys.
Right, with his hit song,
Like,
Love Scud.
it's disgusting. And so and as Burke is trying to see Allison, he sees them making out on the dance floor and obviously saddened.
Right.
Leaves the party, he gets super fucked up, and he ends up at Allison's house trying to serenade her with the Allison.
Yes, and he has no musical talents.
And then he falls off a second story. That song.
And nobody even rushed to his help. They just were like, oh, yeah, I guess the song's over.
And so later, the next day, they do actually meet up again, and she's like, oh, what's it called? Burke gets hit by a basketball because he wasn't paying attention in basketball practice.
Yep.
And, out of everything in this movie, I was like, the most unbelievable thing is that this dude is on varsity basketball.
I was going to save that till after to talk about, but...
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was like, why? Like in the movie, I was watching the basketball game.
You could have a goofy looking guy on the basketball team that could have played this part, but this person should not have been on a basketball team.
Like he looked like the towel manager guy.
Right. Maybe if they said he played like tennis.
Oh, tennis, 100% believable.
Yeah, but not
racquetball. Maybe shortstop for the baseball team. I was watching that basketball game and I was like, dude, the only black person on that team was Sisqo. And Sisqo is definitely going to put up 40 points that game. Because I was like, dude, I don't know where they are, but it must be somewhere in the Midwest. Farm town.
Right.
But it looked like they're in California.
They splashed it. There was one black guy friend and one black girlfriend.
Oh, that's true. And then we had a white guy named Peter Wong.
Yes.
But no, so Allison tells Burke that she and Shane West are going to audition for the play A Midsummer's Night. Oh no, A Rockin' Summer's Night Dream.
Yes, yeah.
Coined by Martin Short's character, who is the eccentric theater director.
Right, yep.
The has-been. And Burke is like, you've never shown any interest in theater. And so, but he wants to win her back, so he decides, I'm going to audition for this shit too.
Yeah.
We get introduced. We got introduced earlier to Mila Kunis and Kirsten Dunst's character, but apparently they're at the pool. Is it the school pool? Because they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because They're in beachwear. That's all I'll say. But no, it's just, she's like, hey, I can help you with your audition.
Right, because they're his best friend, Hanks.
Yeah, Colin Hanks.
Kristen's his sister.
Yeah. And I didn't really get the feeling from when they first met at the little high school party, but at the pool, it seems like she's had a crush on Burke. Mm-hmm. Also, unbelievable. But he must be a pretty solid dude.
Right.
So.
If he was actually a basketball player, I could see it. But I kept thinking that too. I was like, either he needs to be a little more attractive or Kirsten Dunst's character needs to be a little more nerdy.
No, but you know what? It could also be this thing, right? Because some girls, or like just some people, might be attracted to another person after they've seen them in a relationship. Like, oh wow, they're such a good partner, and that's kind of sexy. So that's where I was like leading towards. It's like maybe he saw how dedicated he was to Allison, and so they start practicing. Obviously, Burke is not very good. Because when he reads a line, he's all like, oh, thou shalt blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And she's like, no. You have to put more oomph into it. You got to feel these things. So
right, like he's not feeling the poetry. He's just reading it like it's lines.
Yeah, he's like reading like he got called in class to read the next passage.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So they start practicing everything. You know, they do the before that, they get to the auditions because Burke is like, oh, okay, cool. And he like dips out of the whole thing, right? And he goes to the audition. Everyone, you know, Peter Wong has sung the Star Theater kid.
Yes.
Who's white. I don't know. Maybe Chinese people adopted him to get that name. He's like, you know what we're going to do? Reverse adoption. We're going to adopt the white boy. But Shane West is like, what's it called? What's his face? Martin Short's character, the has-been, he's like super excited about Shane West because we have a pop stars and this is going to be a musical.
Right, and he's into boy bands, so.
Oh, it's so awkward. I was like, man, I really hope I don't look like that when I get older. But you know, Shane West.
I had to keep remembering that this was more than 20 years ago because I kept thinking, Martin Short looks really good. Like, I mean, I remember him like Saturday Night Live and stuff. And so like, I kept thinking it was like closer to now and that he should be much older than that. And I was like, he really looks good for his age.
Oh, but you're thinking about his age right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I watched it, I was like, Martin Short looks terrible in this movie. I don't know if it's like this fake makeup that they put on him. I was like, that's really rough. But Shane West, his audition piece, because the first auditions are singing auditions, and he sings Allison. I was like, son of a bitch. Of course, he gets the part because he gets the part of Demetrius because he is a pop star.
Right.
And then Burke tries, and he starts singing like a chant or something.
No, he starts singing the Big Red Gum ditty from the commercial, the old like 90s TV commercial.
Oh, Big Red, cinnamon.
Big Red cinnamon gum.
Oh, those are terrible. Oh, and then Kelly, who is played by Kirsten Dunst, jumps in.
Right.
It kind of helps him throughout the audition, right? And so, like, next day, everything gets posted. Allison gets the part she wanted. Shane West gets the part he wanted. Kirsten Dunst gets Helena. And Burke is, like, thug number 5.
Right. Which he's fine with because he didn't really want to be in the play, but he just wants to be there because that way he can continue to keep an eye on the progressing relationship of his ex.
Oh, they totally already done it. These 25-year-olds posing as 16-year-olds have totally, these characters have totally done it. If I remember, if this high school is like my high school, definitely.
Yep.
On Wednesday, because it's home day. Oh man, but as they're auditioning, of course, Kirsten Dunst is continuing helping Burke with like the choreography, the dancing, and all that stuff. But all of a sudden, like during one of the rehearsals, Burke gets into an argument with Shane West again.
Yep.
And he's like, "You're letting your accent slip." But all of a sudden, Shane West, what does he like throw something?
So he throws something and it hits the assistant in the crotch, and she is hoisting one of the ferries up.
Yeah.
To like into a flight scene. And when she gets hit in the crotch, she lets go of the rope, and then the ferry falls and
lands on Peter Wong.
Peter Wong.
Oh, and he's super upset. He's like, and everyone's like, "I've never seen bone pop out of his skin like that." It's like, fuck.
And Martin Short's like, "It's okay. We still have a week. He'll be fine. He'll be back on his feet. He's already got the lines memorized. We're good."
Yeah. We are not good. And so Shane West, in hopes to humiliate Burke, elects Burke to be his co-lead.
Yes.
And so this is where they start practicing a little bit more. While all this is happening, a lot of like teen shenanigans happens. Like they try to set Burke up with the hot New Zealand chick who's accident prone.
Right. Yeah.
I was just like, Jesus Christ. Everything on the stat sheet is no, not everything. All right, but like luck or like wisdom, intelligence, very low. She has negative modifiers.
Only charisma.
Only charisma. Oh my! But you know, as I was looking at it, I was like, you know, I'll fuck with it. Even though during their date, because of her, the whole restaurant burnt down. I was like, it's just stuff. Because she looks like she should be in those beer commercial posters and stuff like that.
Right.
Very classically 90s hot.
Yes.
But that doesn't work out. They try to take him to an underground sex club that's run by Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra, another big name.
Another big name, yeah. But Burke gets hoisted up, and then he's the only person left for the cops to arrest. Burke's parents are two talk show hosts that are really sexually comfortable with everything.
Right.
We got Coolio is one of their interviewees, and he's like, "Yeah, Coolio, you want a piece of this?" He's like, "What?"
I have to say though, in the strip club, when all the girls come out and they're like surrounding him, and then they're like hoisting him up, and then they all drop trow, and they're all in thongs, and Sisqo was there, and he could have just been like thong to thong thong thong, just. I was like, and you missed your opportunity.
Right? Like, how could you drop the ball on that one?
Right.
Like, it's only been a year since that summer classic came out. You could still put it in this movie.
Yes,
But you know,
I was sad that that they missed that opportunity.
But you know what? It's because this movie isn't Texas Chainsaw 3D with Trey Songz, where they use two of his songs. Oh man. But yeah, so all these shenanigans happen. Obviously, Burke's parents go out of town, so Colin Hanks, being for some reason the party boy of the group, throws a party at Burke's house. But this is like all the while this is all happening. Kelly and Burke, Kirsten Dunst and the main lead, they as they start practicing, they're growing affection for each other. Especially grows when Kirsten Dunst accidentally shoots him with a prop crossbow arrow. But you know, they're almost gonna kiss, but then the party's happening at Burke's house, so they have to go there.
Yeah,
they get split up. Shane West is very aggressively hitting on Kirsten Dunst.
Right.
And Burke sees it and he's like, "That's not cool, man. Like, you're with like Allison and all that stuff." And when he catches up to Allison, he's like, "We need to talk about Shane West." She's like, "I don't want to hear it." And she like for some reason storms into the master bedroom, and Shane West and Gamora are making out.
And it's a classic, like, where like she just assumes that he's gonna be just making crap up and just talking trash about the guy that she's interested in. She doesn't.
She's dating. Dating.
But that she's not. She doesn't think he's going to be serious, and then he's like really trying to tell her like, hey, this guy's really a creep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it though, because like throughout this whole movie, he's been kind of like trampling all over like the things that they were doing together. So it's very understandable. So but Alan sees it. She's like, "Fuck you both. I'm leaving." Right. And then Burke, he's like kind of distraught with the whole situation that's happening. He goes outside by the pool. I was like, dude, this guy's house is massive.
Your parents are like
sex therapists.
Dr. Ruth. I don't know. Who's the next one? Dr. Drew.
But no, and so what's it called? Kelly, Kristen Dunst's character, she comes out and they have this moment. They kiss, but Burke stops it because he's like kind of still conflicted with his feelings. Right. And he's like, I can't do this. You're Colin Hanks' little sister. She's like, fuck you. Like, Colin Hanks sees it and he's like, bro, what the fuck? You're not going to use my sister as a rebound. Right. And then clocks Burke in the face. Burke's parents come back and they're that awkwardly cool parent. Like, if you're gonna have a party, we could have sprung for a DJ.
Yeah, just let us know. We'll get a DJ. Right. And the weird, like, just the odd part during that conversation, behind them at what looks to be the bar, is like guys with like full beards. Like I'm like
they look like they're from a biker gang. Which is I was like
this is a eclectic group of people at this party.
I was like, this party's dope. But no, so they both go to like parallel versions of like bed. Burke has like this huge nightmare where he's like he kisses Allison and then it turns into Kirsten Dunst and then he's like, right. But it is opening night. Right. But before this though, Burke did buy Kirsten Dunst a gift. It's like one of those Home Alone recorders.
A little bit better, but yes.
Yeah, the musical version of it because Kirsten Dunst's character is actually a songwriter, right, as well. And so
and she keeps trying to change songs that are in this play that she thinks will just work better. And Martin Short's like, nope. The poster says 12 original songs by Martin Short, not 12 original songs that are tweaked by some
prissy 16-year-old. Yeah. But we learned that she's, so at the start of when she gets the present from Burke, it says like, hey, the guy at the music store says a lot of songwriters use this, so I hope you create like beautiful music. Right. And so she's like, she's like, everything's forgiven. She's in love with him again. Yeah. And so during the play, she tells her brother, like, hey, can you give this to the orchestra when it's this part of the play? And so they're switching out Pocket Full of Ass. No, it's Pocket Full of Dreams, but the orchestra calls it Ass. With her song, which is like a very beautiful, probably the best song. Right. Yeah, obviously the best song, because as the play starts, everyone's like confused. They're like, I don't know about this play,
Right, because it's almost like he tried to... Martin Short tried to make Midsummer's Night Dream into like what it would sound like if it was sung by a boy band. Like, yeah. So like there's a bunch of music in it that just isn't great.
Yeah, it's a bastardized.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so throughout the play, everything's going according to plan. Shane West and Burke have this part where they sing together, and they're obviously they have this huge amount of hostility towards each other, but everyone thinks it's part of the play. But when we get to the middle of the play, Allison pulls Burke aside and she's like, hey, can we just go back to the way things were, and then maybe we could see where it goes.
Right, yeah, we'll be best friends again, and then we'll see where things lead.
But they kiss, because she's like, I can't believe I was going to leave you for some jerk. Yeah. I think that's like pretty normal for like, especially for like smaller towns. You kind of end up with your high school sweetheart for life type of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how,
because they
big the
make that
sound is.
joke earlier. They're like, who actually ever marries the girl that they date in high school? Of course, you got to move on.
Right? But then Kelly, or Kristen Dunst's character, she sees this and she's just distraught over it. But when she finally has her chance to sing her song, everyone claps because it is a good song. I liked it. It's very fitting for
and she's got a good voice.
Yeah. And Burke is like listening to it and he smiles because, she's doing what she wants to do.
Right. And he kind of is feeling that part of that song is directed towards him.
Yeah. So, and so we get towards the end of the play and then Burke free balls it. He's like, "Oh, father of this chick. As much as I would love to marry her, my heart has fallen for Helena."
Yep.
And then they kiss. The whole crowd like thundering applause.
Yeah.
And kind of everything kind of just seems to settle. Shane West does try to sabotage Burke, but then he ends up freaking out. He's like, "You just can't change Shakespeare." I was like, bro, the whole play is not Shakespeare.
Right. It's so changed by here. But yeah, he tries to set up a booby trap for the AV guys to basically have the pyrotechnics blow up and ruin Burke's part.
Yeah. But everything, when the dust settles, everything kind of just settles where, like, Martin Short is happy that everyone's applauding this play, which, I would not applaud that play. Allison is sort of just, she understands why Burke doesn't choose her now.
Right.
Because she's been with Shane West. No, but, like, he's kind of gotten over her. And because then, like, when you watch Kristen Dunst and Burke's characters interact throughout this whole film, it's pretty, like, it's nice.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
you could see the natural chemistry.
Yeah, so they walk away in this little friggin' figment of Burke's imagination where he's in the fucking forest. and the movie just ends right there, which I was kind of like, fuck. I remember I was like, that's how, like, 2000s movies where I like a little bit more afterwards.
Right.
But, I think that's, like, more of a new thing.
Right.
And then we get a song with Sisqo and Vitamin C.
Yes.
Very classic 2000s movies.
Yep.
All right, so before we get into our thoughts on this movie, let's go to the thoughts of others with our other segment, High Star, Low Star. Let's go ahead and... All right, go.
Boom. So we got Harold with a 5 out of 5. Unusually entertaining high school romance. This movie is not perfect, but it has its moments of poignant romance and others of absolute hilarity. Kirsten Dunst was wonderful. The movie is a semi-musical farce. I mean, farce in its proper usage, not a term of derision, but rather of highest and hardest form of comedy, as distinguished from satire, for instance. Okay. Or put it this way, Shakespeare comedies are farces, except for maybe the Merry Wives of Windsor. A good farce is very, very hard to do, and there are moments when this film descends into burlesque and others when the humor gets clunky. Despite its unevenness, this still is immensely entertaining film. Even the minor supporting characters are a hoot. Ed Begley Jr. and Swoozie Kurtz, the parents of our hapless, infatuated hero, for instance.
That's a weird way to end this 5-star review, but it was the only one that was, like, not hugely long. Wow, this review is from 2008. I wonder if this guy watches it and feels the same. And then we have one from 2007. Joanne Stevens, 3 out of 5. Get over it. Sometimes you need a movie that has no clear value. The story of a student body doing a stage show of Shakespeare's probably has been done before, but this show has funny spots. Schoolboy, schoolgirl crushes, and all the work of putting together a respectable show. Martin Short really outdoes himself as the director of the show with the grandiose dreams that spiral down to the idea that this show might not work out, thereby damaging forever his reputation. With a few changes by students, the show really comes together with some funny lines and a beautiful song. Good cast: Martin Short, Kirsten Dunst, Ben Foster, Colin Hanks, Ed Begley Jr., and Susie Kurtz, to mention a few. Just a fluffy film. So, Kobe, what was some of your favorite parts of this movie?
I love musicals. Like, so I really kind of enjoyed the music part. There was enough like singing, like with you got Vitamin C doing the song at the beginning, and then her at the end with Sisqo, and then like the music. I thought that all fit really well. Trying to make Shakespeare into a musical, like it worked really well, and it was a great comparison of like the real life love triangle versus the Shakespeare play that's going on. That's basically the same love triangle.
What about the scenes where like where Burke was going in and out of like this fantasy realm that they were going through? I thought that was like a really nice way to sort of bring in the more Shakespearean influence into this film. The characters like all seem so, I don't know why, but like in the early 2000s, they always had mid 25-year-old people play these high school students.
I feel like it was probably just a like union hours kind of thing where it was like, hey, if everybody who plays a high school student is
over
at least 18 or over, then we don't have to worry about any kind of restrictions, any times, any kind of.
That's true, because I feel like. Oh, sorry.
Having guardians there, because I'm sure by 2000 they've probably already started getting that. Hey, some producers and directors are creepy, so if your kid is like 16 and under, your parents have to be there on the set, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the youngest person on here as well was probably Mila Kunis at the time. I think she was probably just shy over 18, because I know when she started that 70s show, she had lied about her age, where she was like 15 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, which was like, a lot of people were like, but she was making out with Kelso or Ashton Kutcher, who was probably, I think like 19 or 20 at the time.
Right.
So they're like, that makes sense. I'm pretty glad now that like the teen movies that we get to see, or like the shows we get to see where there's depictions of teenagers, are mostly like around that age now.
Oh, right.
Except for Euphoria. I just don't get that show. There's
I keep hearing about it. I have not seen any of it. But you said that, and I was totally thinking Karate Kid when Ralph Macchio was like 28 playing the high school student who was just getting his driver's license.
Yeah, and I'm glad in the Cobra Kai show they got people that could really depict that age of like 16 to 18.
Right, yep.
And stuff like that. So that's what I'm really glad for. But yeah, the chemistry between the cast, I felt was pretty spot on. I was surprised by Sisqo. Were you? Or
I was. When I first saw him, I thought it was the Good Burger kid that was
not Kenan Thompson.
Not
was Kel Thompson. No.
The other one. The one who was the invisible boy from Mystery Men.
You guys can't look at me or else I can't turn invisible. But strangely enough, was a power in the British comedy Misfits. One of the characters could turn invisible, but no one could look at him while he did it.
Okay.
That one worked because he would just disappear when they would all stop looking.
Right. Yep.
Oh man.
But then once like the movie started, I was like, no, that's not the guy. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, Sisqo, what? Oh, Thong Song. Sorry, Sisqo. That's the only thing I know you from. Now this movie as well.
No. Oh, what's it called? No, Sisqo was a part of a R&B group. I forgot their name, but I loved Sisqo as a singer. He had really good songs. I don't know where he's like faded into obscurity.
Right.
But Kirsten Dunst always like, you know what? I don't ever think I've seen a Kirsten Dunst movie where she phoned it in.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to think about it because I've seen her in a lot of things, like the one movie with freaking what's his name, the dude from Hostel, the main character from Hostel, the first Hostel. I think his name is like something Hernandez. I forgot. Like she was in that one, like Crazy Beautiful, I think it was called.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, or like Virgin Suicides.
Right.
Spider. All right, never mind. Actually, I think she phoned it in on Spider-Man.
No, she was all right in Spider-Man.
All right, it's terrible writing for her. They really made Mary Jane like not likable in that series, and I really fought that to Sam Raimi. I don't know. I don't think he could really write female characters that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was really solid. I find myself like always liking her in her roles.
Right. Yep.
Even when it's, the Mary Jane. Colin Hanks, who I feel like doesn't get enough roles, even now.
Right. So I was looking, and then like I saw that. Like that he's Tom Hanks' son. I did know that. Like it refreshed that I knew that because I was like, oh, that's right. And then I was looking at this, he's done a bunch of stuff. And then Tom Hanks has a
rapper son.
Well, yes, but he also has a daughter who did a little bit of acting, but now she's like a writer. Okay. But I was like, she kind of looks like the Hanks family.
Yeah.
And she's pretty, but not beautiful. And I was like, oh, she would have almost been better in that part. I'm like, I guess.
Oh, for Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, look fit would have been. Because, it was like Kirsten Dunst is Tom Hanks' son's sister. Somebody was pumping up very attractive milkman.
They are not. They're only half brothers. They're half brother, half sister. Oh yeah, because she was blonde too.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and no. So as I was reading the differences between this movie and the Midsummer's Night Dream, obviously Shakespeare is from a different time. So in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night Dream, the two female characters that are in there are actually their identities are very dependent on their male suitors, like Demetrius and I don't know how to say the other dude's name. The two leads of that play, and so we actually see I think. What the article that I read said, or the comparisons that I read, said that Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream is more in the eyes of the female characters, and them being dependent, and he writes them very. I guess like the way that they say it is like he writes women very for the time.
Okay, yeah.
I
mean, that makes sense.
They're like, oh, if a woman is obedient to their man, that they'll get what they want in the end, or something like that. And so in this one, in Get Over It, it actually fits more the play that they're reenacting in the movie,
right? Where
it's the men who tie their identities to the female characters.
Yes.
So I was like, but I was like, that's like, I get it. Like, I get like a lot of like historical theater people might like see this as like a bastardized version of A Midsummer's Night. But then it's like, it's kind of good though, because it could show that not only does it happen to women, but it also happens to men.
Right.
Because Burke's character in this whole thing with Allison, they're tied in together as like the it couple in the high school, like the ones that'll never break up. and
right, exactly.
And we see that Burke's character in this movie is like sort of like a nobody without Allison, who's deemed one of the hot girls.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Right. So did you? I don't know if you went through this in high school, or like did you know somebody that was like Burke in this instance that had like the identity crisis or whatever?
I definitely like knew people who, like, when they separated, they couldn't let go. Like, there's the guy who, like, would just continue to follow, like, she's gonna realize what a mistake she made, and eventually she's gonna come back. Yeah, there was definitely.
Or like, because I do remember seeing that throughout high school where like some people couldn't move on, or like when the popular kid would date like the shy person, and then like when they break up, he or she like just fades into obscurity. It becomes a wallflower,
Right,
all over again, and they're like they try to get that person back because they don't want to be the wallflower anymore.
right, yep.
Or the opposite happens. He or she was a wallflower, and then their ego gets too big.
Yeah, that's the other side, the cheerleader football star,
Right.
kind of. Yeah.
And if you want to watch a movie that's all like that, just watch Jawbreakers with Elizabeth Gayheart. They do create a monster in that one. That's another teen like classic,
Right?
that
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people don't. I think when I watch Jawbreakers, I always think about Jennifer's Body as well, or like Mean Girls,
Right.
just with murder. So Colby, how would you compare this teen movie to the teen movies you grew up with?
I feel like the humor, they dropped some of the raunchy humor, where like definitely like the same theme, where it's like his friends took him to a strip club, and his friends, try to get him on a date. But I feel like if it was like a early 90s movie, those would have gotten much more
Nudity.
Yeah, that's probably the way to say it. Yeah,
right. Because the late 80s, or like in the 80s, the teen rom-coms in there, they're like pretty. There's a lot of nudity in movies,
and I guess it was less objectionable, where you're like, hey, let's make the cast naked when they're all supposed to be 16, but they're all actually 23. Where here, you're like, oh, hey, they're 16 and they're played by a 16-year-old. Keep that clothes on.
Keep those put that shoulder strap back on. Don't even let it fall.
Too much lace on her bra.
Yeah, like gotta put some padding on it. Yeah, it's funny because like when like in the 90s, my mom was a single mom, so she had to work a lot. But we had a black box, so I got to watch a lot of teen movies that were not made for TV. And then growing up, I think like one of the ones that have kept that sort of essence of Animal House type of like movies,
right,
was probably the American Pie series.
I was actually just thinking that same thing. Yeah.
Right. And they have a pretty huge library, American Pie. I think they have like 20 movies.
Probably about 16 too many.
I know one of them had the daughter from the Rock movie. Not The Rock's daughter in real life, but The Rock's daughter in that movie, Game Plan.
Oh, okay.
Remember the little...
Yeah.
She was in an American Pie movie, and I was like, I cannot watch this. I love the American Pie series because it's raunchy, it's so stupid, and Eugene Levy's in like about 15 of them.
Right.
But when I saw it, I was like, I can't watch this. Is...
But you were right earlier when you said you were like Animal House, and then like maybe 10 years later was Porky's, and then maybe 10 years later was American Pie. Yeah. And then like 10 years after that, we would have been getting into this 2000. And then it was like...
2010, because like American Pie was 98, I believe.
Okay.
And that has to be like the last sort of type of raunchy, like high school.
Because I don't remember there being really any
raunchy teen com.
And next one like that.
I think what happened was the moment. What's that fucking movie called with Michael Cera and Jonah Hill? With freaking McLovin.
Oh, yes.
I think that's the start of like the new age of like teen rom-coms.
Okay.
Where it was more about like the wit, the humor. There's raunchy jokes in there, but it's never shown.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Super bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was like the new wave of like type of teen comedies. And then if they ever wanted to just like show like nudity, they'd just switch it up to college.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? With like sorority boys.
Yeah. It's funny, like thinking back, because I was not too long ago, I was thinking, I'm just like in the mood to watch like a comedy movie. And I was looking for something new that I hadn't seen. And I was like, I felt like every other movie that came out in like the 90s was a comedy.
That's true.
And then like we kind of like outgrew that. And I don't know if it's the political correctness. They're like, well, we can't just make fun of every race and sexuality and stuff like that. So, you know, that comedy switched to making fun of like, we had like a little chunk where we were making fun of movies where they were making fun of like Scream movies.
Oh yeah, the scary movie
scary
series.
movies. And they did there was like a little chunk of parodies like that they did for a while. And that even kind of seemed to fade out. And I was like, you know, I'm like, I don't even see like any Will Ferrell movies recently.
Oh, I mean, Will Ferrell's kind of like, he's like into more like drama roles now.
Right. But you have like, and Adam Sandler too is kind of, his movies have gotten more serious. Jim Carrey movies have gotten serious. Like those key comedians kind of have all.
Well, yeah, because I feel like I always like say this, like, you know, me and my friends and all that stuff, but we always feel like the best like comedic actors are always also the best like dramatic actors. Mm-hmm. You know, because like, you know, like Robin Williams, when he switched up to drama, is so good.
Right.
You know, Jim Carrey, I feel like a lot of people kind of like shit on Jim Carrey now because he's more, his thinking has like kind of, I wouldn't say like gotten weird, but it's just more existential.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, he's not like being weird. You know, he's just, you know, he's gone through a lot more things than a normal person would ever have. Right. And so the roles that he's been taking have been awesome. They've been amazing, but it's like one of those things where you can't just like, oh, I want to watch that. No, you can't. Yeah, so comedy is kind of weird right now. I really do miss like the ones that are like pushing the envelope of, you know,
of good taste.
Good taste, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because even now when I watch like scary movie, it's still hilarious. When, you know, when it wasn't so like when everybody didn't get offended by everything. Right.
Yeah, like because there's so many of those. You can't have those late night comedies anymore because they're now not politically correct.
Yeah. I know, like you know, if this movie kind of came out now, get over it. It's pretty tame for the most part,
right?
But the moment we got to the white guy named Peter Wong, everyone's would be like, dude, if you just want a dude named Peter Wong, just get a Chinese guy or something, get an Asian guy. Like, wow, I'm so offended by this. But I was like, in my mind, I'm like, this is like 2001, like whatever,
right? Yep.
But still, I was like, why is he named Peter Wong? That's such a like maybe Peter Berkowitz.
Oh. Maybe they started with that and they were like, oh, that's going to be offensive.
Berkowitz. Oh, man. But yeah. So I think we're going to have like a good, decent time with this month. 10 Things I Hate About You has to be in this month's rotation.
I'm sure, yeah.
Right? Because I think, you know, even now, I've seen people like have been going on YouTube, like rewatching old movies and all that stuff. And the Heath Ledger singing scene, I think is like, I think to this generation is what to me, like my generation was with the freaking John Cusack with the
boombox.
With the boombox.
Yep. Oh, here, this is funny because, like, just total side story here.
Yeah.
Watching this movie, I was watching it on Peacock channel.
Peacock.
Which has commercial breaks. Mm-hmm. One of the commercial breaks showed a preview for a movie that's coming out that is called something.
The Incredible...
No.
Oh.
It's about two people who got delisted from the military and then are now becoming... they got hired by... I don't know, some Merc industry, and they're going to be, they think they're doing the right thing, but they're actually doing the wrong thing. But one of the two, like, characters is the grown up version, it's the actor who's the nerdy actor, Burke from this.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, I totally see him as an adult ex-military. Like, that is... He does not look nerdy anymore. Not super attractive, but he does not look nerdy anymore. And I'm like, wow, that's
now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, good for him.
Got short, thinning hair on top and a little goatee. Yeah. So, but I was like, is that this? That totally looks like the guy. And then I was like, name come up, and I was like, oh my god.
He got that merc look, you know, that mercenary look.
It was just funny that just happened to rotate into the commercial bank of the movie that we were watching.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up to an hour. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, thank you for joining us. Check out our other months. But we do our reviews in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and the Who Watches This Ultimate Box Collection.
I like movies like this, so I would probably pick up an ultimate box collection with like the RomCom super collection,
right?
Teen angst collection. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if there's anything quite special enough to go Blu-ray over DVD on this. I might just go DVD.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, because then it's going to be pretty hard for the rest of this month to really justify going Blu-ray. But I think it's worth it enough to like just have it in your collection.
Right.
As a DVD because I don't know when DVD is going to go out, but I'd still like, you know, pop this in when I want to have like a 2000s month of watching movies.
It's kind of funny. I was just watching, because it's supposed to be working, and then I was, not. And I was watching like little YouTube videos and stuff. And there was a guy who was like this huge movie collection, and he was talking about DVDs versus Blu-rays, and what he gets on one, what he gets on the other. And then he's like, yeah, there's a lot of movies that like I would just get on DVD. But then they come out with this cool steel box or, this special, art only cover or something. And then I'm like, I have to get it Blu-ray just because that makes it cool.
Right? It's all about presentation, people.
And as he was saying that, my brain was like, that is 100% what I would do as well. I'd be like, oh, I only need it on DVD, but it's only $7 more to get this super cool metal tin.
It holds so much more weight.
When the Deadpool movie came out and they did like a whole line of like re-released movies that had Deadpool on the cover.
Did you buy all of them?
I didn't, but man, it was difficult to not buy more than I did.
So just to clarify, Colby bought a good amount of Deadpool invades this universe covers.
Hey, some of more things I wouldn't even have bought, and but it's got Deadpool.
It's Pride and Prejudice, or like Keira Knightley, and then Deadpool's like waving a flag or something in the background. Schindler's List. And if you've ever watched that movie, the color scheme really fits in well with Deadpool. Would you have bought Schindler's List if Deadpool was in the cover?
I probably would have.
Schindler's List is one of those movies you watch once and you tuck that away, like right next to Passion of the Christ. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you check out our show notes down below. It has our Amazon affiliate links. You guys are going to go shopping anyway, so why not help us out?
Because we would appreciate it. Definitely. And of course, we got our social media stuff. We got our Facebook and our Twitter. Definitely give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. That's the easiest way for you to make suggestions to us or to tell us how bad we are.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out it as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album, Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.